Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta say, it's great to be back. This is my first time shoutcasting over here in a hot minute, and it gets to be Marvel Rivals, again, which I personally haven't touched in a hot minute, but I know it's gonna be pretty exciting here. Let me read out the list here for the people playing for Heidelberg. We got Meme Lord, Fiery's O-Pain, Albarias, Little Sleep, Artrix, and Blizz K. And it looks like Fury is playing Loki, Albarias is playing Jeff, Little Sleep is playing Groot, Atrix is playing what appears to be, what's his name, Mr. Fantastic, and Blizz K is playing Mantis. Although Meme Lord hasn't chosen anyone, but I'll tell you what Meme Lord picks here in a second. Oh, and for the people at home, it is Heidelberg versus Penn State Beveren, if I'm getting that name correctly. Not sure if I am, but for the sake of the rest of the stream, I'm just gonna say Penn State so I don't butcher anything here, folks. Let's see. And I was just waiting for them to bend. We'll see what happens here. Oh. Huh. Okay. Looks like the character's gonna be different than what I said they were. Uh-oh.
Pick your hero.
Okay.
Or villain. I'm not judging.
Okay. Here we go. Let's see. We got Meme Lord as the Punisher. We got Fiery's O-Pain as Invisible Woman, Albarias as the Thing, Little Sleep as Hulk, Atrix as Blade, Blizz K as... I'm blanking on her name. She's brand new. Oh, Meme Lord switched to Daredevil. She's new and I'm blanking on her name. But yeah, that's your lineup for Heidelberg here. As we are waiting here before we get started.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Promise me you'll take it easy out there, Susie.
It's gonna be a good match here, folks. Oh. Hey, Blade Knight. Heck yeah. That's a cool skin for Blade, because it was in a What If episode where he had the powers of Moon Knight. It was really cool. Okay, here we go, folks.
Got it?
We'll see how Heidelberg takes this first objective here. I need to learn her name. Heidelberg currently engaging right now. Right now we're looking at Blizz K, who's giving some much-needed support to Hulk and the Thing right now are two tanks. So I'm believing, whenever I figure out this character's name, I believe she's a support of some kind. Oh, picking up a kill there for Blizz K. Now we're turning over to Meme Lord as Daredevil here. As we're getting right into the action. Ooh, it's getting pretty hectic here. The one is quite fallen. A lot happening here, folks. It looks like the enemy Wolverine is going ham, it would seem. Looks like Atrix goes down. Fury right now, as Invisible Woman, is trying their best to provide some heals, while Little Sleep is going in as Hulk. And the Thing, oh, what a team up. What the Hulk and the Thing, putting on some much needed damage, and I believe that is a Deadpool, whoa. First time I get to see him, that's cool. And as the Hulk is trying to take down Doctor Strange, we switch over to Blizz K, who I believe has used their ultimate right now. It seems to be ultimate chaos, whoa. As Invisible Woman has also put up her ultimate ability right now. Woo. lot is happening here. And Hulk's using his ultimate. Little sleep there, going on a rampage. Ooh, picking up the double there. And trying to secure the triple. Unfortunately, Star-Lord tops his ultimate and gets away there. So Little Sleep will not pick up the triple, but does get a nice double there. As we switch back to Fury here, who's providing some much needed support to our two resident tanks. As we switch over to Atrix here, who's playing the thing, who's putting some damage on. Oh, Star-Lord. Oh! Atrix picks up the double. And we're going to overtime, but Heidelberg looks like they will take this first one here. And they do. They secured the first map. For folks at home, from what I remember how Marvel Rivals works, if you can actually win, you could win the first, whether it's capture the objective, moving something, whatever it is, you can win it. But you have to win it at least 2 times in order for you to actually win. So let's say, for example, we won that last match, but Penn State wins the next one, then we have a third matchup that will determine who takes home the win. So you could win, you could lose, and then you could tie it up, or you could go on a straight winning streak and just win the whole thing. But from what I remember, you have to win at least 2 of the maps. So.
The battle starts in 5.
White Fox?
4,
Okay,
3,
appreciate it.
2,
Right.
1.
Wow, I've just been informed that Blizzy K is playing White Fox. Okay, perfect.
Space-time continuum and defeat 2 Dr. Dooms. Piece of cake.
As we're seeing incredible Hulk here, leaping into action quite literally here. Whoa, a nice little bubble. I believe, if that's a bubble, I believe the enemy team has a support version of Deadpool, if I'm not mistaken. From what I remember, at least, from watching the preview videos. As we see patrons going in here with the thing, and Deadpool using his ultimate. Whoa, as we switch over to Blizz K as White Fox here, looking pretty low on health. We switch over to Meme Load, who is playing one of my favorite characters, Iron Man, who is, for the folks at home, from what I remember, is a DPS right now, so very interesting. Also one of the flying characters, and people love to target flying characters. Don't get me wrong, they're great here, folks, but if you're ever playing Marvel Rivals and you're playing as a flyer, people will try and take you down. They do not like you. So you gotta plan what you do very strategically here. As we see Meme Lord being very strategic, not being too aggressive because he knows he can take it down easily, but kind of going around the area and trying to get some damage off where he can. But Atrix is kind of pinned here. As we see Blizz K is, apparently getting stunned there and coming out of the stun as we switch over to Invisible Woman here, who's trying to provide some much-needed heals for Hulk over there. Running real low here. You gotta play this carefully. The trick with playing support, you gotta balance having an attack, but also at the same time you don't want to get too close. I mean, you can with some of the supports, but it's recommended that you try and get some heals, and then if you can, back off of it, because I've made the mistake of getting a bit way too close and getting absolutely destroyed. And it's not fun. You want to keep your distance, get some damage off, but also make sure you're valuable to your team. So, because your team is going to need those heals, especially when you're in tight situations like this one. And Little Sleep here, I believe, was trying to activate his ult, but I believe he got stopped. Although what stopped him, I'm not sure. I want to say it was a Squirrel Girl ultimate, but I couldn't quite tell you here. As it looks like Penn State might actually take the point here. Payne here getting a KO there, but unfortunately it looks like Penn State Bevan will take this second one here. as we head into the next one, folks, it would seem Penn State Beverly did a very good job of keeping Heidelberg off the point. I mean, last time on the first map, as you guys saw, we managed to actually get to the point before them and managed to kind of stop the pulled what we pulled initially and basically kept us away from point. We tried the charge, and every charge we made was unsuccessful. So, you know, we definitely gotta be, definitely just at this point, we just gotta go for it, honestly. Just try and not get deadlocked out of point, because that's the one thing you can do. We can get stunned like that, like you saw in that last match. We pushed, we got some kills. I believe we made some incredible plays, but we got pushed out of point here. As Meme Lord switches over to Hella. Sorry there, folks. As we'll see what Meme Lord does. As we switch over to Little Sleep, who has switched over from Hulk originally, is now. Is that invisible? No, my bad. That's not invisible woman. I'm sorry, guys. I lied to you. Little Sleep is playing as Rogue, from what I remember, who is a tank. As we see Little Sleep picking up some damage there, as we hear a rocket ultimate going off. Same goes for Deadpool here, as we see Fury in the backline there, slowly making their way over to the point. I'm sure they'll get there eventually, folks. Don't worry. Oh. Okay, that was funny. They had a bit of a staring competition before they engaged in battle. A little quiet before the storm, if you will, folks, as they get right back into it. As you see, Fury providing some much-needed heals, but also, like I mentioned earlier, doing that balancing act between damage and healing, trying to keep the team alive, but also putting some good damage in as well. As we see, Atrix as a thing also in the distance, putting in some work. They're trying to take on what I believe is their other tank as well. But it seems to be a tough battle. As Penn State Beverly is doing a very good job of keeping Heidelberg not just off the point, but keeping them near their spawn point, actually. So the further they get from point, the harder it is for them to contest it here. As we get hit with a Squirrel Stampede here. Little Sleep has got to be careful. From what I remember with the Squirrel Stampede, that thing can go all over the place. And if you're not careful and you're just too busy fighting, that thing could get you. And as we saw with the, okay, we're switching back to Blizz K, who is White Fox right now, who's currently in her ultimate. I think about to pick up a kill. I'm wrong, actually. As we switch back to Blizz K, who is dealing some decent damage output here. But it seems to be a lost cause as Blizz K is getting charged. Might have to retreat. I'm not sure if the retreat will be successful here, but never say never, never say always, sir, folks. As Blizz K gets to Atrix and gives them some heals there. As we see Fury taking a nice little stroll. Alvarez here as as we switch over. Okay, a lot is happening here, folks.
Ain't getting rid of me so easy.
Whoa, a lot just happened. And unfortunately, it looks like unfortunately, Heidelberg has lost this round. Oh. Let's see, who got MVP out there? Looks like Washi YT from the enemy team playing as Deadpool got the MVP there, folks. And it looks like Penn State Bevan will take that. And a quick read off all the stats for you here from the first round for Heidelberg. Abarias going 14-4, Little Sleep going 13-5, Meme Lord going 5-11, Atrix going 10-7, Fury going 15-5, and Blizzy K going 17-4. Not bad, but like I said, not a bad match. It's just they managed to keep us straight up out of the point, and we cannot get to it. Folks, I believe we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who did not get to see the first match or who are just tuning in, it's currently Heidelberg versus Penn State Beverin. And in that first matchup, Heidelberg did take kind of like the first objective and then unfortunately lost the last two. So Penn State Beverin did take that first one. And now we're into the second round here, folks. And the map will be Spider Islands, which I do like. It is a very nice map. I will refrain from saying which character is which because it might change after the ban phase, so we'll wait. But quick read off all the names. We got Blizz K, Meme Lord, Albarise, Atrix, Fury, and Little Sleep. And we'll get a quick read on what they're playing here after they finish up the ban phase here, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a very good match. I can tell you that much. Ooh, banned Phoenix. Okay, interesting. And they banned the Vanguard version of Deadpool. Okay, interesting. So the DPS and the support version of Deadpool are still available, so they can be used. Oh, for the folks at home, one of the characters is Strange Deadpool, who was added, I think, a hot minute ago. He's especially strange because Deadpool has 3 different versions. One's a DPS, one's a support, and one's a Vanguard. So even if you ban like 2 versions of him, there'll always be one version of Deadpool still playable. So yeah, so it's kind of hard to escape Deadpool in that sense. All right, so a quick read off. It looks like Blizz K is playing as Mantis, Mimo is playing as Hawkeye, Albarise is playing as Jeff, Atrix is playing as Mr. Fantastic. Fury is playing as Luna Snow, and Little Sleep is playing as Penny.
Get ready.
I sense your concern, but you have already proven your worth. If this battle is to be won, it will be because you are on our side.
I forget that characters have voice lines. I've played this game a lot,
Battle starts in
and I
5,
forget that. That's awesome.
4, 3, 2, 1. Focus on the battle.
And it looks like we're getting right into it as Little Sleep, who is playing as Penny right now, is currently being engaged into the play here. We'll see what happens here. Now, if you see any of these like type of spider traps, from what I remember from Penny, she can place down a bunch of traps. So she is very dangerous. If you're not careful, you can get damaged if you walk into those spider webs. So definitely more of like, she can do damage, but it's almost like having someone strategic planning. If you place everything right and you time it right, the enemies can basically set themselves and walk into the trap. You know, you gotta be strategic, time everything, and also be within bounds. As we see Fury here playing as Luna, trying to give us some heals here and giving off a little boost to, I want to say Mr. Fantastic over there.
I was worried.
As we switch over to Mr. Fantastic himself here, dealing off some nice damage and getting in close. But it looks like the team is also being boosted by whatever support they have. Reading off their name, it would seem that the support they have is, I want to say it's Jeff, and from what I remember, Rocket is also a support as well. So, but it looks like those heals are mainly coming from Jeff, from what I can tell. But Atrix going right into the fray here, giving off some very good damage. Unfortunately, getting tackled by the Wolverine. Ooh, taking down a whole building here. Oh, Rocket hitting his ultimate there, which you might want to destroy that, which I believe they did. Because from what I remember, his ultimate can get off basically infinite ammo, so you don't have to reload. You can just keep firing no matter what. It's very dangerous. Meme Lord over here going on one-on-one battle, takes down Washi YT, who was the MVP of last game, actually. So, hey, good work on Meme Lord here. Meme Lord getting some kills here as Iron Man. going to kind of circle around. Is going to try and get a good read on where the enemies are. Maybe telling his team, giving his teammates a good idea, and probably going to see if he can get some damage off. Not going crazy, but the good thing about being a flyer is you can chip some damage off. The trick is you don't want to get too close. You can get up close and personal, but as a flyer, you kind of want to find a good mid-range to where you can get up close, deal a bit of damage, but also know you have the ability to back off. Because if you get too close to the ground, there are characters that can easily just ground you, stun you, or if someone is a mantis, they can put you to sleep and have you straight fall out of the sky. So you want to kind of be careful there. As we switch over to Arise, who's playing Jeff right now, one of the supports, is currently taking on Phoenix, among other things, and is currently being attacked relentlessly here, but is okay. As we switch over to Fury
Thanks for the
here.
shield.
Okay, Fury is putting on a show here. It looks like switching between healing and also boosting as well. And that's the cool thing with Luna Snow's ult. She can do healing and she can also boost. Her ultimate is, excuse me, is really good. As you see Mr. Fantastic using his ultimate, bouncing around the place and dealing some decent damage. Nothing too crazy, but I say nothing too crazy and he just picks up a kill there, folks. So proving me wrong. My bad. I will eat my own words there. As we continue the fight here, going in for some big damage, getting nice and buff here. Ooh, picking up some assists there from Mr. Fantastic. And as we hear that noise, that means the Punisher is using his ultimate there. You might want to take that man out. As we see Mimo trying to get us some chips there. As we switch to Avarias, who's getting some heals, but also trying to chip off damage, what I believe is the Magneto. It's a very close fight here. The goal for Heidelberg here is going to be to try and stop this. Whoa, hold on. Hold on, Jeff's using his ultimate. Oh, picks up a friendly Doctor Strange. But, okay. You could have just spit them out, but doing what every good Jeff does and just commit suicide by going off the edge there. As we see Mimo taking the patient approach. Heidelberg in this part of the round needing to put a stop to the payload entirely. The trick here for Heidelberg is to kind of put Penn, essentially, metaphorically and literally speaking, put a stop in the tracks. As they get that payload to its final destination, it is over for them. But if they can put a stop to them, that will bode well for them. But they have to stop the payload where it is. If they want any chance of it, they're gonna have to put on some good contention at the payload itself. As we see Mimo doing some chip damage, I believe, not necessarily in the back line, but kind of not within the main fight, going for a more strategic focus here. Kind of focus on the back, deal some damage, and then swing back around. Being very strategic, not going for an overly aggressive play, but going for a more strategic play here. Going for long-term games rather than short-term gains. And we love to see that here, folks. As we take a look at Fury here, who's currently, BlizzK and Fury here, who are doing double duty. My two favorite heroes, actually. BlizzK playing my main the last time I was playing. As we see them engage in combat, and as we see a Phoenix. Careful. And as we see a Squirrel Girl ultimate going off there, we see BlizzK use the Mantis ultimate, getting some heals, but also getting some damage in there as well. They need to keep this point steady. BlizzK trying to kill that Squirrel Girl. Interest gets the kill, but I believe the BlizzK will get the assist for that as well. BlizzK keeping up the healing here as we continue on this fight. Ooh, getting hit with the freeze, unfortunately getting finished off by BlizzK there, but getting hit with that freeze from Luna Snow, which if you can time that right and someone is there to help you, you can get an easy kill. As unfortunately some of the team, I believe, get swallowed. Oh, Mantis picking up the KO there against Washi YT. And as we hear a Punisher ultimate, you might want to step back there, especially if you're a healer, too. You can do a lot of healing, but the only disadvantage is you are not tanky. You are as squishy as a sponge here, folks. As we switch over to Alvarez, who's picking up some heals, who I believe just went into some fire. As we take a look at Fury here, it looks like Heidelberg was successful in stopping them. They didn't get all the way. Now we're going to switch over to Heidelberg here to move the payload, or in this case the spider, and hopefully get it all the way. Heidelberg did a great job of stopping them in the tracks, but Heidelberg needs to get it, either get it to its completion point or get it farther than what Penn State Beveridge managed to do here, folks. We'll see how this fares here in a couple seconds after Heidelberg and Penn State Beveridge have selected their heroes here. All right, now we're back into it. Hey, Fury has Infinite Ultron. Okay, I like that. That's cool. Interesting. Oh wait, hold on.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
They have 3 supports. I forget. Or yeah, because Ultron is a support. I forget that sometimes. When I heard that Ultron was getting released, I think I've maybe mentioned this in the stream. I honestly thought he was gonna be like a Vanguard or like a DPS or something. That's what I thought. I was surprised when they made him like more of a support type of person that can deal at heals and has like a beam. I thought he was going to be more of either aggressive or a tanky character. That's what I thought, but I was proven wrong. I know, I'm kind of 50-50 on how Ultron is. But as we see Blizz K here going right into dealing heals, and I believe also throwing a sleep, trying to get an early sleep there, which if you don't know what the sleep does, it does exactly what it sounds like. It puts you to sleep. Honestly, the one cool thing between Luna Snow and Mantis has the sleep ability and Luna Snow has the freeze, and even though on the screen they have different effects, it's basically the same thing. Their freeze and the sleep, it just stops an enemy completely mid-tracks and they can't do anything about it. Until obviously they get unfrozen or they get killed while being stuck in there. As we see the Frank pulling out the turret there, trying to get some damage. And we pull over to our Vanguard here, Little Sleep, who's playing as Groot. Trying to get a bit of damage going off here. Not doing much, more like getting a bit of tickle damage here, I hate to say. Definitely get some damage. Trying to put up a wall, doesn't quite be successful. They're putting it directly on top of the objective here. But we're teaming up with Mr. Fantastic here. Both of them trying to get up some good damage. As we hear a Skull Stampede from the enemy still there, signifying the ultimate release. And we hear the rocket ultimate being active. Heidelberg needs to destroy that ultimate. If not, the enemy team is basically infinite overclocked with basically power. As we see Atrix here as Mr. Fantastic, doing his best to be that tank, but unfortunately goes down there. As it brings over to Fury, along with Jeff and Meme Lord here, who have been pushed back into spawn, which is not a position you want to find yourself in here, folks. But nevertheless, Heidelberg is in this position. Heidelberg is gonna have to make a play here, whether they, I don't know what they do. Maybe they need to send someone on the flank, but speaking of which, Meme Lord whips out his ultimate, it goes ham, and we hear a Fear Magneto, meaning that the Magneto has popped his ultimate here. As we see Meme Lord going in with no fear, using his ultimate, popping the smoke, unfortunately gets killed by the, what's her name? I'm blanking on the character's name. I don't know why. Emma Frost. Yeah, that's her name. I bet. I think so. Yeah, that sounds right. I could be wrong. But yeah. That ultimate is dead.
Only 60 seconds left.
Heidelberg needs to honestly move the objective or try and knock Penn State Beverly off here so they can get a bit more of a leeway here. They have about 40 seconds, 42 seconds here on the clock. So definitely need to get something moving. Even if they don't get the ejection all the way, they need to try and get to that second checkpoint. But unfortunately, little sleep as Venom here doing some damage. Unfortunately, they're getting held at bay. I mean, Beverin has a lot of themselves on that objective and making it very difficult for Heidelberg to get into that objective and knock them off. They are not going away. They're being like annoying flies. They are just going in, being annoying. You try and swat them off and they just keep coming back in. As we see Heidelberg trying to mount a good offense against them. Little Sleep putting in some work right now. Trying to take down some of Penn State's numbers here, but unfortunately, I don't think it'll be enough. We're currently in overtime. Wait, Heidelberg is moving the objective, while Little Sleep has basically been running under distraction, taking on a bunch of the enemy team. I didn't even realize there. So giving Heidelberg some time for movement, but I'm not sure how much time it will be, as there is an ultimate being used. Unfortunately, Little Sleep is going to have to be careful there, and I believe Magneto's ult got intercepted by what I could not tell you. That happened really quickly. We see a Doctor Strange portal being opened, so definitely got to be careful there because you can get shot and hit out of nowhere. As we see, we switch over to Blizz K, who is that Doctor Strange. Okay, that explains where the portal came from. As Alvarez takes a endgame level entrance into the battle right now. As we see Meme Lord as Daredevil putting in some work, unfortunately going down.
Score 0-2-1.
Unfortunately, it looks like Heidelberg will not get there.
Another epic victory.
Well, it looks like for this second round, it looks like Penn State Beverin will take the second round. We'll take a look at the MVP. Ooh. The MVP is Gear Samar from Penn State Beverin here. Folks, a quick read off on the score. Little Sleep playing as Venom went 15-10. Atrix playing as Mr. Fantastic went 17-9. Blitzkay playing as my brain is killing me. Is 11-7, and Meme Lord playing as Daredevil going 13-10. Fury playing as Ultron going 10-8, and Alvarez as Jeff going 11-10, and BlizzK was playing Psylocke. I just remembered going 11-7. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be all. We will see you in the next round. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for round number 3 here with Heidelberg versus Penn State Beveren here. Currently, to catch you up on what you've missed, currently Penn State Beveren is currently in the lead right now and has won the first 2 matchups, and I believe it is best of, I believe, I'm trying to remember the best of number, but I believe there's only 2 more rounds after this left. So hopefully Heidelberg can win this and send this into a 6th round, hopefully. And hopefully, because if they win, if Penn State Beveren wins this 3rd round, from what I remember correctly, I believe they would be able to take it home here. But if Heidelberg does mount a good charge in this next round, then we can have if they meant a good charge in this round, and the round after that, we could potentially have a good final round here. Let's get into, oh, I completely forgot. It's also playoff week, ladies and gentlemen. I just remembered that. Oh, and for those of you at home who are curious, from what I remember, I got to actually witness one of our playoff games yesterday night with Heidelberg taking on Trine, who's been a thorn in our side, especially on the Valorant side of things, and we managed to take them down, winning that first round. So, an update on how our esports team is doing so far. So, definitely keep watching. Hopefully we'll see some of that success here replicated at Marvel Rivals here. So,
You'll need a
stay tuned.
top-notch team to win this one.
We're getting ready to select the teams here. We have Atrix, Meme Lord, Fury, Albaraz, Little Sleep, and Blizz K here. And I'll hold off to see what characters they pick, because they might change very soon. So, oh, okay. $5 cash up, okay. $5 in pennies. All right, Atrix is playing as Blade, Meme Lord is playing as Daredevil, Fury is playing as Loki, Albaraz is playing as The Thing, Little Sleep is playing as Rogue, and Blizz
30 seconds before you attack.
Blizzy K is currently playing as Cloak and Dagger. I believe that is Cloak and Dagger?
How haven't you gotten bit yet? Well, a few of them have tried, but definitely.
Best I can do is pay quarters.
One of the perks of having rock
Oh man, I love that too. Yes, it is Cloak and Dagger. I was right. And
The battle starts in
for
5.
those of you who are like, what? Did this profile, the Business K profile picture just suddenly change? Yes, Cloak and Dagger is 2 people. So, both Cloak is the one you just saw as a shadow, and Dagger, this one, who is basically light. Think of it as light and dark combined together. Okay, I'm not sure what Blizz K was shooting at. Maybe working on the aim there. As we see the fight getting ready here, folks. Blizz K giving some much needed, giving some decent heals, as I believe that is a Hulk gets sent into the back line here and is attacking. We might see the fall of Little Sleep here. But Little Sleep is putting in the work as Blizz K switch to Cloak here to try and deal some extra damage. As we see Fury
Or a dagger.
as Loki.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
As we see Meme Lord? I'm not sure what Meme Lord is doing.
Better stop that vehicle.
I think Meme Lord is waiting for the perfect moment. Also, if you're wondering why Meme Lord's screen looks a bit strange and it's like partially dark, it's because the character for Daredevil, in case you don't know, so I'm not going to assume you, the people at home know, Daredevil is essentially blind, so that's why everything looks a bit funny and has, the cool thing about it is Daredevil has enhanced hearing, so that's why everything is kind of like black that has that red outline, because he's essentially, he's not really looking at characters, he's more of using his hearing and sensing as to where they are, because all of his other senses are heightened, which I think is pretty cool and makes Daredevil really cool. See, Lord. Okay, as we hear Little Steve poking out. As we hear a King, and we hear a Punisher ultimate going off as well, as we see, whoa, Little Sleep getting floated in the air? I don't think that was his intention. Those people trying to go for a bit of aggression, but unfortunately getting pushed back there. As we continue on, and we hear a Star-Lord ultimate going off. So we're gonna be careful, but I don't think Little Steve has much to worry about with the enemy team to try and get some of that much-needed damage on as they're trying to attack that Invisible Woman and the Magneto, unfortunately getting turned back to Bruce Banner. And Meme Lord is trying to go in for some damage, but I believe unfortunately goes down. So does Little Sleep there. Let's see Atrix as Blade Knight here. Oh, blocking some good damage, but unfortunately not enough going down. As we see Fury as Loki trying to give some heals. The thing, and we hear Little Sleep transforming back into the Hulk, so we know Incredible Hulk is back in action here. I want to see Fury get their ultimate sooner rather than later. From folks at home, Loki's ultimate is pretty interesting. Loki's ultimate allows him to turn into another character and use their ultimate. But it can't just be any character from the entire Marvel Rivals roster. It has to be a character, I believe, from the enemy team, or another character on your team, from what I remember. So if they see a character, they can copy them and use their abilities. They can use their ultimate. That's why if you play as Loki, you can do what my friend did and just play every single character. So when you go back to Loki and you choose a character, you know exactly how to use them. So if you do that and you play as Loki, it can be very dangerous, because when you take other people's powers, you can be dangerous because you can play like you were playing someone else. So yeah, quick tip for you there. As we're taking a look at Blizz King here, playing his Cloak and Dagger. As, unfortunately, I believe that was Blade gets sent flying. As we're taking a look at Abarias, and we switch over to Little Sleep as Groot here, trying to get some damage off. Unfortunately, Invisible Woman hits the disappear, and they're all making it hard to see anything. Honestly, shooting darts at a wall here to see if anything sticks. Unfortunately, nothing probably will. As we see Atrix here playing as Winter Soldier, which is a good character, especially if you can get their ultimate down.
The current score is 0-3.
Ooh, unfortunately, Penn State getting it, what I believe is all the way to the objective. Hopefully, Heidelberg can have the same luck here as we enter the second part of round number 3. Well, looks like we have a few changes in characters here. I'll update you on that here in a second when it loads. Atrix is still picking.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we had another switch. That's what I said. I'll wait until the round officially starts.
We have to save the world.
Not the first time. Won't be the last.
Okay, cool. I believe, okay, Atrix is playing the support version of Deadpool, who, for those of you who might not remember, I mentioned earlier, kind of earlier into the stream, that Deadpool has 3 versions, and you can ban 2 of them, which is the which is you could be either the support, the Vanguard, or the DPS version. So there's 3 versions, but there will always be one version of Deadpool available. It looks like Atrix is using the support version. A quick readout, Atrix is playing as Deadpool, support version as I mentioned. Meanwhile is playing as Winter Soldier, Fury is playing as Loki, Alvarez is playing as Jeff, Little Sleep is playing as Venom, and Blizzy K is playing as Hela, who you might remember from Thor Ragnarok. As we continue on here, the battle is raging as Little Sleep is getting directly into that action here. Unfortunately, just getting, I mean, talk about action as Atrix unfortunately goes down and Fury is getting gunned down. I hate to say it, but they were everywhere it seems. They are just putting on the pressure from all sides here, folks. Okay. Liz K has Hela. Is doing some damage currently. Hearing the Punisher once again. As we take a look at Atrix, who's playing as Deadpool here, who is playing a support pool, if you will. As we see Alvarez here. Apologies for the silence. I kind of zoned out there. I'm looking at the action, but it did get a bit slower pace there. As we see Meanwhile, as Winter Soldier, trying to get some damage off. If he can time the ultimate, his again and again can be very deadly. Because if you manage to nail it and you time it perfectly, you can chain Winter Soldier's ultimate. Dangerous. Ooh. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the impact, but comes out of Jeff's swing and gets the again on the ult. But unfortunately, misses the chain reaction here. As we see, we take a look at Fury as a Loki here, who has their ultimate ready, but I don't think it's going to transform into anybody anytime soon. I think he's waiting for the perfect time to use the ultimate, although I'm not sure what the time would be, as there is, I didn't even realize that there is about 26 seconds left on the clock, as we see Blizz K trying to get some damage off there on the Magneto. As we switch over to Atrix here, he's getting some decent damage off actually, that's the support pool. And you see Alvarez here playing support. Liz K is Doctor Strange. There goes my frames there, folks. Unfortunately, Doctor Strange here taking some serious damage. Oh, Jeff unfortunately getting sent backwards.
Final score 0-2-3. Another epic victory.
Well, folks, it looks like Penn State veteran will take it home, unfortunately, and we'll take a look quickly at Washi YT, who is our MVP, who played Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. As I'll give you, Penn State veteran will be your victors in today's matchup, unfortunately. A quick look at Heidelberg's final results here. The SVP for Heidelberg will be Boozy K going 11, 5, and 5. Little Sleep playing as Magneto will go 6, 9, and 0. Meme Lord playing as the Winter Soldier will go 11, 10, and 1. Atrix playing as Support Pool will go 7, 11, and 1. Fury going 5, 5, and 10, playing as Loki. Albarise playing as Jeff the Landshark will go 6, 9, and 4. Those are your final stats here, folks. Unfortunately, we didn't come out the victory. We do have some other games, so hey, don't be sad. There are plenty of other playout games to go. So don't go anywhere. We still have some more live streaming yet to do. Thank you for tuning in, folks, and I'll see you on next time. Bye.